New York City. There we go.
Here we go.
Lock in, lock in.
Hey.
And you say New York City. Yeah, we back.
Hey, guys.
What's good, everybody?
Evening.
Good energy, good vibes only.
Mm-hmm. Hey, guys, we see you out there. Come on in. Happy Thursday.
What's up, everyone? How's everybody doing this evening? Hope you're doing as well as we are.
Absolutely.
We're glad to be here.
Absolutely.
We're even gladder that you're here with us.
Absolutely. Good evening, guys. We see you, IG. We see you, YouTube.
Come on in.
We see you, Facebook.
If you're a newcomer, please like and subscribe to the Doctor and the Realist.
Hey, guys.
Check out our weekly show, Real Talk, No Filter. We try to get into real topics, and we have real talk, real issues. And at the end of all of that, we try to get real solutions for our real problems.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
everybody, I'm the Realist. This is the Doctor. What's up, everybody? Hey.
What's up, guys? Happy Thursday.
Isn't time flying? Man, I got a birthday coming up next week. Then 4th of July for my got my 4th of July
celebrating. In the house with all my emotional cancer.
That's right. We honest people. We feel strong.
And I'm taking shots because I can, because my husband is a Cancer, so I can take a shot because I'm married to one.
So good. We throw shots back. What's good?
So what's good, guys? We see everybody coming in. First and foremost, we want to thank everyone who watches us every week, who shows love, who shows support, who shares our information, who shares our work. People who give us referrals. Thank you. I've been getting a lot of referrals just from the show alone, from other people. So we want to thank you.
Appreciate you. We're glad we're reaching. Our message is getting out there. Our audience is growing show by show. Surprisingly, when we first started doing this, we didn't know what to expect from it. And the feedback that we got has been phenomenal. It's been incredible. So we thank you so much for the support, and we ask for the continued support.
Absolutely.
So without further ado, let's get into our hot topic for this evening, which is
trauma bonded versus spiritually bonded.
Yeah, y'all. All right, get your seat. I hope you got your snacks. We about to go in, man. You know what it. Brought to you by
water for me. Cheers.
Salute.
So let's get into this topic. This can be a heavily loaded topic. We want to talk about trauma bonded and spiritually bonded, right? So first, I just want to give people a little overview of what trauma bonding is. Okay, there's so many different forms of trauma bonding, right? Okay. We have parent-child trauma bonding, where a child is abused and they're attached and they have a certain kind of love for their abuser. We have people who've dealt with a traumatic situation together, such as loss of a child, an illness, substance use, habit together, drug abuse and use together. And it's a very toxic and volatile relationship, but they stay together because they're together for that traumatic experience. The one I am going to focus on tonight is intimate partner trauma bonding. Right?
Let's get into it.
And this is definitely a form of abuse that most people do not realize that, and it definitely happens. So trauma bonding happens when first the couple meets and it's instantly lust, attraction, sexual temptation that brings the people together. Right?
Does it always have to be lust or sexual attraction? Could it just be like somebody saved somebody from a bully or someone came to their rescue in a situation?
It has to be something that's so like intense that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't live without this person, right? Then it starts coming to being addicted to the person, being dependent on the person, feeling like you can't live without the person, and that other person victimizes you on a level that you don't even understand or realize is happening. Wow. So they may be verbally abusive, but they may be subtly financial abusive and things like that. But then they'll turn it around, right? And because of your trauma, they'll suck you back in. They'll be remorse with what they've done to you. They'll come back and buy you gifts. They'll do things to get you back in their good graces. But you, the person who is being victimized and who's stuck on the trauma, they're constantly looking for the approval of the person who is hurting them and the person who's causing them trauma. So trauma bonded is when you're so in love and infatuated with the person who is causing the trauma in your life.
You see, I totally had a different definition of it. I thought trauma bonded was like if you two go through something together and you survive it, that brings you together because
that's
you
one
both
form of it.
Went through a traumatic situation that you both that person or figure their way out of it and you pull each other out of that.
But you got to understand, for it to be trauma bonded, it has to be something negative in there that keeps you attached to the person. It's not like a regular happy couple that go through something and they have a hard time, a death of a child or something, and then they're like, wow, this trauma has definitely brought us together. We went through, but you're not bonded to the person solely on the trauma.
I was thinking more regards as, what if someone was diagnosed with cancer and that person and significant other, because of that response to them being in cancer, they helped them get through the whole chemo process to the point where their cancer's in remission and they're healthy again. Well, that required so much bonding, right? Because you needed to be there for that person during those therapy sessions, through that, whether it was chemo or whatever kind of therapy they were going through. And because they went through that, you're so used to helping that person out. Now that that person's cured or healthy, how do you continue on with a healthy relationship that's not toxic? Meaning, like, because I never knew the whole dependency had a huge part with toxic bonding. Okay, so did you go through all the aspects of toxic bonding or
trauma bonding?
Trauma bonding, excuse me.
No, those are just like a few. There's so many, but those are just the main ones. Like I said, being brought together through a traumatic experience, something that brought you guys together, that you're bonded to each other, but even if the relationship is toxic.
So what if you get in a relationship and you didn't initially start off toxic? You didn't start off a traumatic relationship. You got off normal, just off of meeting somebody and kind of falling in love.
Yep.
But then it gets something traumatic happens during that process. Could be your wedding. It could be the loss of a child. It could be a situation that you both were in, that you both helped each other escape. Is that the trauma bonding too, or are we talking about initially bonded through trauma relationships?
I feel as though, me personally, being initially together based on trauma, not a traumatic experience happening in your relationship, because traumatic experiences happen through life all the time. Does it bring people closer? It does, but that's not the initial act of the relationship. You understand? So maybe you have people who were both like went through a lot of abuse, or who were both drug users, but that relationship is very toxic.
Yes.
But because they went through a similar trauma, they're bonded to each other.
Right.
And they're in this toxic whirlwind of a relationship where it's like, me and you were both abused. Me and you were both heroin addicts, but we fight all the time. We fight about money, but I can't live without you. I'm addicted to you. I love the sex. I love all of these things, but it's not a healthy relationship. So the unhealthy aspect of the relationship where there's trauma is what makes it trauma bonded.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
That wasn't really clear about what was going on.
Yes.
I wasn't.
Yes. And then spiritually bonded is when it's not as fast paced as a traumatic bonded relationship, because you're not rushing or looking for that next high. It's usually something like
the Lord brings you together.
Essentially, right? Yes, the Lord or spirit. So, like I said, I know a lot of people have different beliefs. So, the Lord, Spirit, God, the universe, higher power, the Most High. Again, we are all spiritual beings. You want to say spiritual? You got a spirit on you. Aura, energy. I don't care who you are, good, bad, and different. I don't care if you pray to Buddha, Allah, Confucian, Saint Mary, Saint Joseph, Saint John, Jesus Christ, whoever. We all have a spirit on us. And everyone, spirit in us.
Are spiritual beings.
Yes, and people have spirits on them. Have you ever been around someone and your energy was just sucked out of you, or you became angry, or you became upset
from their presence?
From their presence, whatever was attached to them jumped onto you. So yes, but a spiritual connection with an intimate partner is when, one, it's not solely based on sex. It's deeper than sex. It's bigger than the flesh. This person makes you feel safe. This person makes you feel secure. This person is able to connect with you on a level deeper than sex. You understand? A lot of trauma bonding, they have a toxic relationship, but the sex is what gets them.
The sex is what
the sex
that's
is
the
like
fun trauma, y'all.
Yes, the sex is like, I'm gonna forget all the trauma. I'm gonna forget how this person abused me. Yeah, me and this person just shot some heroin up, but I want to be intimate with this person right now so bad, right? So it's a different perspective than being spiritually connected to someone. you know?
Okay.
And then that's why we talk about all the time, when you sleeping with multiple people, you are taking on their energy. I don't care what you say, you are taking on a certain amount of energy from them, a certain kind of aura. You are connecting to these people in different ways. So you have to be mindful of what you're doing.
Now, can you have any control as far as you getting into a trauma bonded relationship versus a spiritual bonded relationship? How do you go? Can you control that? Can you navigate that?
Most people don't even know what they're into. Most people don't even realize they're in a trauma bonded relationship until they speak to someone and realize this is a toxic relationship. Why am I fiending for this person? Why is this person able to hurt me, but I still want to please them and be okay with them? And I want this person to look at me with reverence, but they're hurting me. They're inflicting all this pain in me, and they're causing me this trauma. And then they turn around and they're apologetic. They try to make the relationship better. They never do it again, and they love them. And you're back to that like I said, cycle.
But that's
of
the part of that psychological control, right?
Yes.
You know, that cycle of offending, disrespecting, and repeating.
Yep.
You know, apology. You know, I disrespected you, I cursed you out. Now I feel sorry. I apologize. Won't you forgive me? Until the next incident, and it's constantly revolving. So
and constantly creating a traumatic experience for the person, and that's very common with children who are abused by a parent. Right, emotionally, physically, sexually abused by a caregiver. So as they get older, they become guarded. They hold their feelings inside.
Okay.
They think that that is a form of love. They think that abuse is love. So then they end up growing up and either accepting the same kind of trauma or perpetrating that kind of trauma.
Doing the same thing to the ones they're in a relationship.
Yes. And a lot of people who are trauma bonded, the person who's hurting them and causing the trauma, they want that love and approval from them. No matter what they do.
Whether it's toxic or
not.
Well, it would never really be healthy in any situations. I'm kind of thinking, because can somebody be in a healthy trauma bonded relationship? No. So a healthy relationship is only a spiritual relationship.
Essentially. Now, I'm not saying that people don't go through traumatic experiences. That's different than being trauma bonded. Because again, the trauma bonded is when you're only connected with the person for the toxicity.
Okay.
You understand? When you're spiritually connected with someone, not saying there's not ever going to be arguments or disagreements, but again, this person is meant to make you feel safe, make you feel loved, make you feel appreciated. Again, it's deeper than your body and it's deeper than sex.
And that's heavy, because I think that's really important, because a lot of relationships have so many ups and downs. You know, the sex could be great. It could be a thing to keep you in a relationship for however long. But if someone doesn't want your overall well-being, if somebody is not drawn to your spirit, if you don't have a cohesive relationship with a higher power, you're basically left with that person's flaws.
Yeah.
And it's hard to marry a flawed person. It's hard to be a flawed person and demand love. You got to understand, unless you have a relationship with God up above, the Most High, how can you have a relationship with self-care? How could you love and respect yourself, which in turn keeps you from loving and respecting somebody other than yourself? You know, your significant other. Not putting them through toxic tendencies and patterns of control just because you don't want to be alone, just because you feel like love is control, because you were controlled.
And even people who go through things, an addict, being in a relationship or married to someone who's an addict or a gambler, anything of that's considered a trauma bomb. Because why is it so hard for people to leave that relationship? I know that when we get married, we say through sickness and health, through thick and thin, you be by the person. But when is enough with dealing with that hurt, pain, and trauma that someone is causing you and to your family and your well-being?
Well, how do I strengthen say someone's listening to us right now and they're in what we identify as a trauma bonded relationship. How do they get themselves, if they really love this person, into a spiritual bonded or connected relationship? Can you make that transition? And if you can, how do you go about that?
Well, one, it has to be acknowledged that this is the type of relationship that you're in. There are a lot of people who are in toxic relationships and think it is normal.
Yeah. I can see that.
Famous
in today's
people,
time, I
broke
can
people,
absolutely see
poor
that.
people. You're in these cycle of relationships, and to you, that is normal. It is normal that my person is doing this to me. It is normal that my spouse is stealing from me. It is normal that, you know, we get into an argument, he puts me down and he diminishes me, but then it's okay tomorrow. That's traumatic.
I don't think it'd be it okay tomorrow. I think the thing be that makeup sex and that anger sex. That anger sex is what get people pulled into it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to necessarily initially start drama. They don't want to start any kind of I don't know people, because maybe people do want to do that. But what I would think is, in a lot of those situations, you would see like this the physical altercation between the two is so intense, that lust is so intense that you look past a lot of these flaws. You look past a lot of these controlling behaviors. You look past a lot of these red flags that you've been seeing in your relationship because the sex is crazy. Because that person,
soul suckers,
that person can pay for your, you know, they can pay for anything. You know, it's always something outside that keeps you attached.
Of course, and I want to call it a soul sucker.
Soul
sucker is someone who sexually sucks the soul out of you. And I'm going to have to get to the nitty-gritty real quick because this is very common, right?
Log off, children. Any of you children that are watching right now, log your ass off and go to bed.
Sexual soul suckers.
Same for you.
Where they put the sex on you so good that any other thing they can do to you after that doesn't even matter. They already sexually suck the soul out of you.
Digmatized.
Let's talk about men. Let's talk about men who are getting turned out by women. So what I've come to learn along my travels, the new thing is that
it's not
new, but the younger generation, what they are doing is they are, what do we call it?
Rim jobbing. They into getting their booty eat. Toss salad.
Men. They are tossing
getting that salad tossed.
Right? And it's something that they're doing, that they're common. But people don't understand that the anus on a man is a very sensitive, sensual part of his body.
I think they do understand. That's why they doing it.
Yes.
Listen, man. Don't discourage the freaking soul.
I'm going to tell you this.
Everyone
we see a lot of older men dating a lot of young girls. And no offense to young girls, they're at an age where they mentally, right? Young girls are pretty toxic. And I'm sure us females, we've all been toxic at a young age at some point doing crazy stuff. But we see, you know, a lot of us were probably toxic to boys our age, you know, I don't know. But we see a lot of older men dealing with young toxic girls. And we're like, why is this older person dealing with this crazy young girl when you could have a real good woman here? But these young girls are sexual soul snatchers.
Wow.
And they're just taking the men to another level where these men
are
going
what it
out
is?
of their mind.
It could be that also, you know, but
I believe that.
It could be what you say, that these young ladies are sexually aggressive and more experimental with pleasing their significant other and partners, because they're in the man, female, and with other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, today's times, a lot of that's more accepted. But the thing that we're not looking at is the old reliables. Oh. Okay? The women that you say out there that's a good woman that's closer to my age, she's boring as hell.
Oh, God.
I'm tired of waiting for her for Jeopardy to be over. I'm tired of the bonnet rap bullshit in her head. Every time I get some top, it gotta be an attitude. It gotta be, am I doing it right? It gotta be. Now, them young girls ain't gonna do all that shit. Them young girls gonna jump on and say, woo, we having fun, daddy. Okay? And that's how the soul gets sucked out of us, because we are tired of you old, complaining broads. Nobody want to. I want to be real with y'all, man, because a lot of women think that there's sunshine. And the simple fact that I open my legs for you, you should be thankful and grateful. But what? Can I finish what I'm saying?
Go ahead,
a lot of you don't realize that you suck at sex. You suck at looking.
But listen,
you suck at looking at the things that we enjoy and making those things pleasurable for us. You're old in your own tradition and what you ain't going to do. So a lot of times we got to hear about what you're not going to do. We're going to hear about why you want that. You're not, like you said, the younger generation's into that. So the younger generation is going to come to somebody that's curious about that, and they're not going to make them feel weird about it. They're going to just freak off because they don't know no better, or that's what they want to do. That's in their nature. You have a lot of young, mature women They're worrying about their reputation. They're worrying about their, the whole facts, how many bodies they got on their coochie, and all of this shit's playing in their head other than let me please this man.
Okay.
Right?
I would like to see some women in the comments.
Oh, y'all ain't gonna touch that one, huh? Y'all gonna leave that alone, huh?
Some feedback. So again, I think it's all.
And one's not better than the other. Don't let it get misconstrued too, because when that young girl don't know her place, when she can't stop turning it up and doing unpredictable, spontaneous bullshit, then you can want to get away from her. Yes. Then you change your number. Then it's popping up at your job, breaking your shit. So that's anti-safety also. Yep. That unpredictability. It could be enjoyable to a certain extent, but could also be so toxic it's dangerous.
Yes.
And a lot of times these young ladies do these things, get us engaged in these type of situations, and then they turn crazy on a man because they ain't mature enough to handle their problems, their relationships, their feelings, etc.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because, I want, my old reliables. We love y'all too. We don't want to hate on you, baby. You just need to loosen up a little bit. Come and join again. Meet me halfway. Meet me halfway, girl.
Come on, over lives. Come on, over lives. It's all right. Listen, but again, trauma bonded versus spiritually bonded. So good. Sexual soul suckers. They suck the life out of you through sex.
Soul suckers.
But how traumatic and painful is that relationship? How unhealthy is it? But that sex, that lust, that needing to go through that cycle, that hurt, that pain is what's keeping you in that relationship.
It is. And you got to understand also from the spiritual side, once a woman's eating your butt or engaging in that type of behavior, because they say the portal to a man's libido or orgasm is through his anus, which I like, why the hell would they put it there? I thought it was on our top, but the more, the older you get, the more you learn. And what I realized, if you look at it from the spiritual standpoint too, you're letting somebody engage your spirit. You're letting somebody take a piece of your energy from you. Think about it. This woman can get you so open where you forget your morals, you forget your place, you forget your family, you forget your life, just off of her doing that sexual act to you. You gotta understand, she now has a connection to you.
Yes.
There's almost like a now I don't want to say a seduction, but there's almost like a spiritual tie now.
Yes.
That person's got a hold of you. That's why you guys never wonder why you can't leave that ratchet chick alone.
Yes.
She ain't worth
you
a
can't
damn.
Leave that toxic person
She's
alone.
a troublemaker. She already blew you up 450 times. There's no reason why you should even be dealing with and tolerating with this person.
Yep.
But all you got to do is be alone with her, and she go back to her old tricks, and she pull you right back in. That's because your spirit has been connected. Your spirit has been attached to somebody that doesn't have your best interest. That's why, in a nutshell, in order to really have a great, lasting relationship, it has to have a component of spiritual bonding.
Yes.
You have to be able, like my wife said, to have something that you love about this person that's outside of sex or what they can pay for or what they can do for you.
Absolutely.
Because when you're in a relationship, the longer you're in especially a committed relationship or marriage, you start to see the flaws of the person.
Absolutely.
You start to see all that stuff that you didn't take into account, that you never really got to see because you went home at night. You didn't get to spend the night and get to see her first thing in the morning. You didn't get to see her patterns. You didn't get to see his patterns of laziness. You didn't get to see his nasty hygiene. You didn't get to see all of that. And once you're in a marriage, you start to see more and more of the real person that you married.
Absolutely.
And if you are just into it because of the sex being great, I hate to tell you, it's not going to last.
It's not going to last.
It's not going to survive.
It's not going to
that
last.
Spiritual connection is so important for a lasting relationship.
Yep.
You hear what I'm saying? That spiritual connection is imperative to have that.
And it's sad because it's hard. This is very common. People use sex as a Band-Aid for their relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Or distraction.
So you were in this relationship and you have so many other unhealthy things in there. Hi, all my beautiful family out there. We see all you guys.
What's up?
IG,
what's up?
Facebook. We see
that's
you.
Right. Them soul ties.
Lisa,
absolutely.
Hey, everyone. Yes.
What's up, cuz?
Yes.
Yep. That soul tie. That's for real. For real.
Yes. So you see these people in these relationships, right? And it's very superficial, right?
Absolutely.
They have all these other issues. They have sex, and then one person's like, okay, we're back on track now. But you've never dealt with all those other issues that are a problem in your relationship until the next time you want to have sex. Or it's one person wants sex and the other person doesn't want sex, right? Sex is not a cure-all for your relationship or your marriage. Sex is something you just engage in. People do not value sex and how when you are sexually involved with someone else, the energy is going back and forth.
Yeah, I think they value sex. They just don't value commitment. They don't value somebody else's commitment.
Some
they don't
people,
value somebody
how can you
else's
value sex if you sleeping with a whole bunch of different people? That's not valuing sex. That's appeasing your lust.
You could love sex. You don't think a person that loves sex could love themselves also?
You could love something but not value it. How many people love their spouse but don't value them?
Oh, that's true. That is very, very
true. A lot of people like, oh, I love my husband, I love my wife, but I can't stand them.
Damn.
I wouldn't even buy you a cracker if it was supposed to. I didn't even get you a card for your birthday because why? But I love you. I love you. You know, you're here.
It's easier said.
We have sex. You do what I need you to do. So you can love someone and not value them.
Wow. That's powerful. That is absolutely powerful. Well, check this out. I feel like, the sex is an important component. Y'all know I love the sex, y'all. That's the bonus, man. And even though it may be a distraction, it's not a number one priority, do or die for me in this relationship. As much as I enjoy sex with you and making you feel good and pleasuring you and all that, I understand also it's just as important to pray with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of these people that are in these trauma bonded relationships, I challenge you, the person that you assume or feel you cannot leave alone, that you're in a trauma bonded relationship with, ask that person to pray.
Ask them to pray.
See if that person will take you serious and will take just that moment to close their eyes, gather hands, and pray. You don't have to say a set prayer of any religion or denomination.
Nope.
It's just a simple fact of meditating on a higher power.
Yes.
Praying for this person's well-being,
yes.
praying for our collective well-being, praying for the well-being of our children. Because this is what I realized. Once the trauma bonded relationship, whatever that's bonding us together, like sex, money, once that's interfered with, then we really show the ugliest side of us. Absolutely. There are guys that have 7 kids with a woman, right? Mm-hmm. Relationship, I don't want to do it no more. Now, I don't got to take care of them kids. Now, if you're spiritually bonded to this person till your last breath, you're going to want to provide for your family and your children. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Those spiritual bonded relationships is what you can build families on. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you're not getting what you want necessarily, you're still being able to be an active participant in helping that person raise your children right. Yep. Helping that person feel safe, helping that person get to their financial status that they're working towards, Absolutely. Instead of being a hindrance, like, oh, well, we ain't having sex no more. You ain't my problem no more. Yeah. Oh, those ain't my kids. I don't live there no more. You gotta figure something out. Oh, you taking me to child support for that? I ain't got no money. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Those trauma bonded ones, it's easy to blow those relationships up. It's easy. Once that you getting something from me is gone, then you see the worst version of that person. Absolutely. But most likely when somebody's spiritually bonded, they're like, listen, I love your spirit so much that I'm going to let the flesh go. I'm going to forgive you for sin. I'm going to forgive you for cheating on me. I'm going to forgive you for stealing from you. I'm going to forgive you for not being the sexual prowess that I thought you were, the freak that I thought you was going to be. And then you don't limit yourself in a relationship no more. You really see your relationship go to a whole nother level of lessons. Yeah. So we encourage spiritual.
We encourage spirituality. And again, whatever people's belief is, whatever you believe in, whatever higher power, anything, whatever it is, still sit with your person and you can still manifest and speak positive life into each other.
In that relationship.
In the relationship. Okay. Because our holding hands and just saying, we're in a happy marriage. I love you. I appreciate you. Yes. I thank you.
Helps you through the tough times, man.
We will get through this together. How many people actually hold the hands of those partners and say at least one positive thing a day?
They don't.
Whether it's prayer, manifestation, anything.
We don't take that stuff. It sucks that we don't take stuff in the spiritual realm as serious as we take for the mental and the physical. Mm-hmm. It's all connected, y'all. We all have a soul. Nobody's absent of the soul. And you got to understand, when you can't focus in on making your soul clean and making your soul pure, that's when a lot of those things that you expect, like a good woman, a good man to come to you, they don't come.
Yeah.
That energy attracts like-minded energy, thinking positive, speaking positivity, treating people positive, being the bigger person. Those are all things that feed your spirit.
Yeah.
And with a rich spirit, people are attracted to you.
Absolutely.
Why do you think so many people flock to religious leaders? Because of their spirit. Because they're able to tell you how we unify, how we speak love, how we speak forgiveness. You know, whether you believe in Yeshua, Jesus Christ, or whatever, Muhammad, the prophet, these were all entities that lived this earth that fed off of spirituality, fed off of being good to each other's neighbor, feed off of being good to your man, not coveting your wife, respecting someone's marriage, not committing adult. These are all things that feed your spirit. And when your spirit is rich, people are attracted to you.
Absolutely.
Positive things are attracted to you. Opportunities are attracted to you.
And then when you're negative and toxic, you're going to attract a toxic person.
Negative and toxic things come to
you.
Things
Toxic,
never work out.
Yep. But people still want to stay in these toxic relationships. And it's like, why?
Because I don't think they want to. They just, if your spirit low, you don't know how to get better.
Yeah. And a lot of people thrive off the toxicity. Right? They thrive off of the toxicity.
As long as the sex is good, right?
As long as the sex is good.
Listen, we could
be fighting all day. We could be listening. I just slashed. Listen, you ever see those? Remember, I just slashed his tires, but I'm about to go make him some breakfast right now.
Crazy.
I just busted out his windows, but listen, I'm gonna go pick him up some food and go make him some fish and grits, right?
As long as you ain't throwing them grits on me, it's all good.
Listen, people love the toxicity.
They
people
do.
Love the
it's
drama.
Exciting. They love that drama.
Some
they love that dramatic
love
nonsense. And FYI, just a disclaimer, ladies out here, I've been seeing a lot of memes of young ladies busting windows out and setting cars on fire. When you reach in that car blow back on you. Yeah, I've been seeing that. Don't that be you? Let's stop setting this cars on fire because you can't control your emotions. All right, there's better ways of being a bigger person. Okay, you don't. If you do so much harm to somebody, you can't expect them to love and trust you. I don't care how great that sex is. They'll never want to make you their wife. They'll never want to make you their husband because they always know that you don't really love yourself. So how could you love me? I mean, that's what it really boils down to.
Yep.
You know? So I hope anybody that's in anything that resembles a traumatic bonded relationship, as we explained before, that you just take a look at your significant other. We ain't trying to tell you to be the best people. Something that you're not, basically, you know, but try to be the best person you could possibly be, you know. Find somebody that God intended for you. Be with somebody that feeds your spirit, makes you feel good about yourself. I'm telling you, that is 10 times better than Pound Town or anything else. Any hoochie daddy dick sling he could put on you. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually, that's gonna run his course. Or he could love you, but then you find out he loved your cousin, he loved your neighbor. You got a bunch of kids on the way, and you thought this dude was really completely into you, and that's not the case.
And like I said, it's very sad because television promotes the toxicity. Look at all these reality shows. Look at everything with all these artists, famous people on TV. They promote infidelity. They promote promiscuity,
random sex,
baby mothers, multiple baby mothers, and doing other
polygamy. Stuff. Polyamorous relationships, which is very curious, by the way. But if
another topic.
One woman's a headache, I can't imagine more than one.
We gotta do that. We gotta do a topic on polyamorous. And
very interesting.
We need to get some polyamorous guests on here. So if you're willing to talk, DM us.
Yeah,
because I just want to get the point of view of someone who's polyamorous.
We ain't judging y'all. I'm just here. I'm here to learn. I'm here to figure out how do y'all actually make that shit balance? Because people be petty and stingy. How do you finagle?
Yes, absolutely.
But we're not gonna be long-winded tonight.
Yeah.
We just want to hit y'all up and let y'all know thank you for the support. We're gonna keep coming at you with these topics that are engaging. We don't want to draw on a long point. We just basically want to tell people, please try to make your goals towards being better towards yourself. Find a higher power relationship That spiritual relationship is really what's going to connect you to your happiness. I know you
Mm-hmm.
tried everything. You tried to be a freak, tried to be a sneak, tried to be goody two shoes, you tried to be somebody that you're not, and it just wasn't working for you. So now what you need to do is just stop all of that and concentrate on making yourself feel better.
Absolutely.
Do things that put smiles on your face, even if it's going to take yourself shopping, even if it's making a nice meal for yourself. Come on, ladies and men.
Yes.
Stop being so thrown into these toxic relationships because you don't want to be alone. Sometimes God wants you to be alone just so you can really endure who you about to put on someone else.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You need to really learn yourself.
Learn
you
yourself.
You need to learn yourself. You need to love it. And if you're in a relationship and it just feels like something's not right, you got to definitely tap into the spiritual aspect of your partner.
Pray on it, y'all.
Pray on it. Meditate on it.
Pray on it.
Write affirmations about it. Write and be thankful. Show gratitude of the person you want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
absolutely.
Again, I know everyone has different beliefs, but you gotta believe in a higher something. It is a higher power because it all comes from somewhere.
It does, and remember, we're flawed. We're flawed human beings. We exist to make mistakes.
Yes.
Trusting us to be the bigger person is not your best bet.
No.
Trusting us to never cheat on you, that's not the best bet.
No.
People cannot be trusted like that. So you definitely got to tap into a higher power.
Yeah.
Because people need that type of discipline spiritually.
Yeah. And you got to watch out for them sexual soul suckers. People who will suck your soul out via sex.
It's fun at first, y'all.
It's fun at first. So they have your soul and you can't get away from them. And you like, I don't know what happened. This person just has me so open, doing the craziest things, wanting to take money out the bank, put cars in my name for them. I don't even got good credit. And I made a way,
Snap out.
Watch out, making me leave my family and kids. And I don't know what they did. Sexual soul suckers. Well, they will suck the life out of you via sex.
And if they can be that freaky with you, can you imagine who else they could be freaky with?
Just nasty.
They just met you.
Just nasty.
They just met you and they eating butt.
That
gotta make you feel some type of.
You're nasty.
You gotta kind of question that just a little bit, right? Freak on, no judgment.
They're like, who else booty you didn't ate? You the first one.
I remember that was appalling. First time I heard of like tossed salad was like the prison show. You ever heard like Scared Straight or something like that? The dude was a booty war. So I like a tossed salad with jelly and syrup. We were like, oh my God, what is that? That is the nastiest shit ever. Now all you hoochie daddies want some booty time. That's a damn shit, yo. All right, listen, I ain't judging.
We ain't judging nobody. Whatever you like. I'm just saying, when a woman does that to a man that's not her man, where'd
that come from?
Where it come from? But you want to snatch someone else's soul that doesn't belong to you.
It happens.
All the time.
All right, y'all. Thank you once again for your time. Ain't not gonna hold y'all too long. Get to work.
Again, we want to say thank you all for the love and support tonight. Again, find yourself, points to love yourself.
Always.
Spirituality is key. Work on being in tune with yourself and with your partner. Because once you're real with yourself, once you realize who you really are as a person, then you can work on being that kindred spirit with someone else.
Absolutely. And God gonna send you somebody tailor-made for you. When you work on that spirit, He ain't gonna send you somebody that gets on your nerves all the time.
Time out. He's not gonna send you someone else's man.
That's a good start too.
He's not gonna send you somebody else's wife.
Yeah.
And people be like, they married, they together, they this, but he belongs with me.
He don't love her.
No.
Nah, fam. You don't love you. He with her. He got something for her.
So
she with him.
Be mindful of that because now you're mixing a whole bunch of different kind of spiritual stuff, trauma, all this stuff mixed in. So be mindful. Be mindful of what you do, people. More of the story is love yourself.
Absolutely.
Love yourself first.
Love God. Let God love up on you.
If you're in a trauma bonded relationship, and I'm going to repeat this after every session, you have to ask yourself, do you love yourself more than the situation you are in? Do you love yourself more than the situation you are in?
Word.
If you could answer that question, it'll alleviate a lot of things in your life. Do you love yourself more than the abusive situation, the toxic situation, lying, stealing, cheating, narcissistic, abusive, stonewalling, addiction, stealing, whatever it is? Do you love yourself more than the unhappiness you're in? Once you can answer that, then you start your healing journey. So I got to say about that.
All right, Doc, great advice.
Yes.
All right, always love, introspective, and get yourself spiritually bonded with the Most High, with yourself, and then you'll find your king or queen.
Yes.
All right.
And watch out for the sexual soul suckers.
Yeah, don't have too much fun, y'all. Protect yourselves.
Yes, guys.
All right, peace.
We love you. Smooches. Peace, love. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Enjoy. Have a good night. There we go.
Here's my phone, boo.
There we go.
There we go.
Lock in.